Hello individuals, this is going to be my first video of 2018 in which I talk about 2017. I was in Florida during holidays, so I couldn't make a video for a year in review like I did last year. I'm doing it now the earliest time that I can do it. And yeah, so 2017 was a much better year than 2016. I could say that. Did I even say hello? Hi individuals. Where was I? So 2016 was a terrible year, is what it felt like. I mean, there were some good things, like I was on Broadway, I earned my citizenship, I declared myself a citizen. I sort of found myself. But 2017 was when things started sort of fixing. Were there some shitty things? Yes. I guess the thing that stands out to me the most was what happened in August, September, which was when I was scammed, and I lost close to $1,000, and I lost all the savings that I had since I was about 7 years old. And I have to switch over banks because the bank that I did have hates me now and thinks that I scammed them, when in reality I was a victim, and it's a long story. But essentially though, that was probably one of the shittiest things in 2017, and I'm going to start off with the shitty things just because there have been so many great things that I feel like I'd go on with that. As well, that was a year that I almost lost someone who means the world to me. I did lose him for a while, I guess, and it's I guess that's a little too personal to talk about on my channel, but essentially this was somebody who means the world to me and who I still deeply care for, and I mean, we've reconnected, and you know, things are way better, but it's not the same as what they used to be. It's also hard because we don't, you know, our communication could be a little better, but aside from that, that was a pretty good year. I screenshot things on my Instagram so I can remember what the hell happened this year, because I probably don't remember those things. So in 2017, one of the biggest things that happened, and one of the things that I'm the most grateful for, was that in March 7th, I had my first testosterone shot, and you know, I've documented this on my channel, and this was one of the biggest things for me, because I could finally, I finally feel, I should say, less dysphoric. I finally feel a little more comfortable with myself. It brought me things that I cannot be more grateful for. This was also the same year that I decided to design my own business card, and now I finally have my own business card. This was back in April, which is crazy to think I've had business cards for this long, but I cannot be more proud of them. I don't know if I've never showed them on my channel before, but so I have my business card holder is a little composition book, and so this is what the card looks like in the front, and that has my logo on it, and this is what it looks like in the back with all my information. And designing the logo took a while, took a couple of days for me to finally come up with something, and I cannot be more proud of it. I'm happy that I decided to do it, because it means that I can finally start taking my business a little more seriously. Also the same year that I got my new camera, which I'm currently recording on, and it's also the year that I started to take my freelancing a little more seriously. I bought my new lights, I bought my new softbox lights, which I've only been able to use twice or 3 times. 2 of those have been from a personal project. I chopped my hair off back in August. I'm growing it back now, which I've had very mixed feelings about, mostly because my parents really want me to grow it back out because they hate it so much. And I didn't realize how much they hated it. I knew it, but they didn't mention it again until my family was on vacation, and my aunt was like, "You should get a shape up," and they were like, "No, don't tell them that. It looks ugly." And so it sucks to hear that, but because I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing with myself. So I guess I'm growing it out. So that's, my hair is in a really weird spot right now. It's like, anyway. It was also the same year that I voted. It was my first time that I ever voted, because I had my I like declared citizenship the year before that. So this year I got to vote. And in terms of everything else, like the goals that I set, I don't remember what goals I set, and I tried looking for my goals or resolutions or whatever. I don't call them resolutions, I don't make resolutions, but last year I sort of did make resolutions, as contradictory as that sounds. And I wrote them on my iPad. I cannot find them. I think I deleted it. I know I made a video about it, and I only got to watch like one of the resolutions, and that was being more financially stable, which obviously was a lot harder to do, especially because I thought I was getting more money, and then it turns out that I lost everything, and I had to start from like ground zero, and I don't have a like stable job right now, so that's sort of what I'm doing. That's sort of where I'm starting my 2018, but I don't think of it as a negative way. If anything, like, it's something that I know I will achieve, and I know that I will work towards, so that way I can start saving up so I can leave eventually and leave this house, which scares the shit out of me. I don't remember if I talked about this in terms of my goals, but I know one of my biggest goals that I always set is like my love life, and like learning to be more patient with it, and it's something that I still struggle with, and it's something that I struggled with all of last year, because I felt like I was in a place where I was ready for a relationship, or relationships plural, but almost everyone that I spoke to, or everyone that I was interested in, was emotionally unavailable. And so it was really hard, and it still is really hard, because I think I'm still pretty much in the same place, and but it's something that I'm still working towards, like learning to be patient and learning to just like wait for other people to be ready, because just because I'm ready doesn't mean that they are. And it's hard, you know, it's hard when you went through so much with your breakup, and then to feel like you're ready to start something else and not have anybody else feel ready. But I also don't see that as a negative thing. If anything, that's something that's positive, because it means that like I have a heart enough to like wait for people, and you know, I have interests, and that's, you know, that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. 2018, hopefully, this is more of like a goal that I have, not in terms of like a New Year's resolution, because like I had mentioned before, I don't believe in them, because I feel like there's like deadlines that are ridiculous, but in 2018 I want to keep going to the gym, 1, 2, I want to like hopefully publish my poetry book that I started in 2017 but never got to finish, and that's, I gotta get on that. Yeah. So those are like a couple of things that I have looking forward to this year. And I don't know when this video is going up, because I have to edit my little 2017, oh my god, what year are we in? 2017 year montage. But yeah, so here's that montage.
This is my first video of 2017. It's exciting. I know in a couple of weeks I'm gonna start testosterone shots. I couldn't not make a video on the day of, or like before my first shot. So today is officially the day that I get my first T-shot, and I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm having all of these feelings. I don't know how I'm feeling, honestly. Then I like looked online and like saw a list of YouTube ideas, and I was like, and I saw this thing about like hobby and career, and decided to do something about that, and talk about my relationship with photography, especially because my portfolio, I like made it live like maybe a week ago, but it's still a brand new thing to me, and I get to finally say to people like I have a website for my photography and it's great, and my portfolio is like online. I've been sort of like weird about pride because of my sexual orientation, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. I'm still trying to get used to it, and so that's what I'm going to talk about today. That's what I'm going to talk about, what that's looked like in the past for me and what that looks like now. Or like, I didn't transition because I was attracted to women. I transitioned because I never felt like a girl. And once I figured out that I felt like a guy and like things made sense,
That's the reason why I transitioned. It had nothing to do with what I was attracted to. In fact, like, my sexual orientation now is pretty, like, would have confused anybody who was like, but you must be straight, because that's what most people assume, is that I am straight. And so I was very secure in being straight, and then I developed feelings for somebody who was non-binary, and then I realized that I was attracted to people who were non-binary, and so I came out as polysexual, and then I started testosterone, and all of a sudden, now I'm pansexual, and it wasn't the testosterone that made me gay. I think it's because I'm more comfortable in myself, and I'm more comfortable with who I am. Oh, I'm finally able to make this video, and it'll explain itself. So, passing is something that is extremely new to me, and I didn't think I would get to talk about passing until I moved out of my house. I wanted to make a video about my 6 months because it was super important. Also, I cut my hair. Also, I have a new camera since the last time I made a video, and that's kind of important. I don't know, at some point, I don't even remember what happened, but I know that I wanted to wear eyeliner. And so, yeah, I can't remember what made me want to do it. And so, I'm wearing eyeliner right now. And I wear eyeliner on occasion, especially like if I'm dressing more masculine, I tend to wear it just because it makes me feel a little more androgynous. And since I've like started coming to the realization that I'm not completely a guy, I'm not a guy 100% of the time. Like, there are times where I feel sort of agender, or I feel like gender should cease to exist. And I don't feel like anything, and I don't want to be like seen as anything. But I'd rather read as, even in those times, I'd either rather read as guy or just as like a question, and so I tend to try to fit some kind of androgynous something. If you've watched up to here, thank you. Subscribe, like, or comment. You can give an individual their wings, and if you subscribe, you can join me with your family. And who doesn't want to learn to fly? And until next video, Happy New Year's, and I'll see you.